Tak skal I have, men jeg regner ikke med, at jeg er fra Designskolen Kolding faktisk. Jeg er faktisk mig selv i aften. Jeg bor i Aarhus, men lad os se, at jeg kommer fra Kolding. Og lad os se, om hvad den første kommer. Men jeg kommer til at tale på engelsk. And I am a nerd. I can say it in a way that was a bit sad a few years ago, but I've started to realise, actually, I'm deeply, deeply nerded. And what we all know about nerds, that's why I put a tie on this evening. We all know about nerds that they have collections. Nerds go and collect things, and I've been doing this all my life. I collect all sorts of things. Very soon you're going to see some of what they are, but there's a reason for doing it, and there's a kind of knowledge that can come from it. I connect, as it comes up very, very soon, small orange things I find on the street. I kid you not. I've got a collection of what people sing about in national anthems from all over the world. I've got a collection of flags. I have hundreds and hundreds of them. I collect what you say about dead soldiers. I come from a country called the United Kingdom. We have been to war for the last 100 years. We have not had a single year of peace in that time. And what we'd say about dead soldiers can teach us a lot of different things. Talking about national anthems, did you know that you can sing about rapists? In the national anthem of Western Sahara, you sing about rapists. People always sing about blood, but they never sing about sperm. The Germans, well, they don't, it's a body fluid. The Germans never sing about cars. Nobody sings about doctors. But we do sing about nature. This is also very, very interesting for me. And look, these are some of the flags that I've got. This is just about a fifth of my collection. I literally have hundreds of them. But tonight I'm going to tell you about imperatives. Imperatives are the form of a language that tells you what to do. It's do it, drink Coca-Cola. We've heard this all our lives, drink Coca-Cola. It's an interesting thing because it's a form of a language that you can only use with people who are under you or equal to you. Now, if you're a Republican here, any Republicans here, are you going to be able to say, sit down to the Queen to Drawing Makita? It's impossible for you. But you can do it to your children with no difficulty. So in this, there is actually a form of power. Imperatives represent the way that we speak to each other through power. Now, some of what I'm going to say to you is really, really deeply offensive, because what I am saying, I've collected from the streets. This is what we actually say to each other. These are the demands we make. This is a kind of visual imperative I've grown up with. This is Queen Elizabeth II, who has been all over my life. Until I moved to Denmark, she was on everything. On the money I used, the stamps I licked. I could never tell that woman to sit down. It's quite impossible to do so. Now, here's an interesting thing. This is a visual imperative from New York. It says, don't stop, don't cross the road, don't go. I used to work for the BBC, and so I've been very good at asking people questions. And I asked people simply, whose hand is this? And almost everybody I asked gave the hand a gender. And that gender was a man. Yeah, interesting. And then I asked people, I leant forward, I learned to do this in the BBC. Tell me about it. Almost everybody said it's a man. And people would say it could only be a woman in an airport. Because in an airport, people have to be nice to you. So women are people who have to be nice to you, and men are people who can tell you what to do. They said in Denmark, it's a white man's hand, because in Denmark, the colour of power is white. This is really interesting. In you're a man compared to you're a woman, there is one imperative telling a man how to dress, 4 telling a woman how to dress. But what is it we actually say to each other? This is really interesting stuff. Here's from China. I travel a lot with my work. Advance the humanitarian cause and build a harmonious society. We don't speak like this to each other in the West, do we? We don't talk about the glorious future that we're able to make. Maybe because we really feel that we've got here. You might be able to say that. This is one I found in London. Kill niggers. This is deeply offensive to me, just so you know it. I can't stand this kind of thing. But there is an enormous amount of deep, deep, deep racist hate formed in these ways. Kill the Viet in Cambodia, I've also seen. And this comes out of religion and out of making people do things. Nuke Denmark. To nuke Denmark, put nuclear bombs. This was from outside the Danish embassy in London, in the Mohammed crisis. A bit of an overreaction, you might think. Let's see what else we get. Ghana, pray for battery recharge. We never think of, we never really think about needing the electricity that we've got. Electricity is part of us. That's an interesting thing. And then the next one, masturbate more. We all do it. I mean, put your hands up, who doesn't do it? I saw on a man's t-shirt here in Denmark, which seemed like a bit of a ridiculous thing to say, quite honestly. But now what you can see, there's a feminist aspect to this, but there's also a very strange other kind of aspect. These are the demands that we make of each other in the society that we have. And by hearing Pray for Battery Recharge, by advancing the humanitarian cause, you're actually able to see what kinds of things we say compared to what other kinds of societies say. And if we're able to do this, if we're able to make lists that sensitize us to actually what kind of world we have, then maybe, just maybe, we're also able to make the change we say we want to change. Because in Denmark, I'm an immigrant to this society, you say we're all equal. But in reality, are we that? And honestly, ladies, is this the case? Honestly, people of other colours, is this really the case? Honestly, men, do we actually make the equal society we want to do? So, by collecting things, we are actually able to make a democratic cause of what language can teach us.